I have never been someone who's liked gossip. I can't stand it. I'm the type of person, if you want to talk about someone, you need to go to the source. Now, I'm not talking about, things that you see in the media that you're bringing up. I mean, you obviously can't reach some people in the media or go to the source. If you see something and you're, discussing it, that's a bit different. But in terms of like people who go behind your back and they just start talking and you're just like, you could have just either told me or just don't have anything to do with me. But people are cowardice. People were raised differently. I know from experience dealing with people, I have heard people say that they enjoy hearing gossip because it takes the focus off of them. It makes them feel better. And to me, that's a trauma response. Sorry, something was poking me, like moving around here. It's a trauma response. Oh, also, if you don't know, I have the podcast on video. It's on my YouTube channel if you want to watch it on YouTube. I'm over here like, what is this? You feel a piece of hair or something. It's like, what the fuck is this? I'm a Virgo rising, so I'm like, get this off of me right now. But anyway, but you have people like that. It's a trauma response. Instead of looking within and being whole within and wanting to fill their mind with things that are conducive and uplifting, they want to fill it with drama and chaos because they feel chaotic within. And I'll say that again. People like to hear drama and chaos because they feel chaotic in their life. And so they benefit off of putting people down and uncovering people's weaknesses and feeling like, these people too, people who are like that also I would say are jealous and competitive because because you're doing bad, they feel like, oh, I could do better now because they're doing bad. Whereas my mentality is if I'm doing good and other people are doing good, it raises the vibrational frequency of the planet. And then everyone is just going on their merry way and elevating. I'm not thinking of, I could give a fuck less about what anybody is doing in their life. Granted, you have discussions about people if you don't like them, but that's after you've either addressed the person or something like that. I'm not saying be a damn nun because no one's like that. Everyone has, talked about somebody, but it's, you already went to the source. The person knows you have a problem with them, or you did something, you took an action to where that person knows you don't want to be bothered. You did something, but it was direct. A lot of people are cowards and they're fearful, and so they won't address you. You have people who, like I said in another podcast episode, you have the friend that will tell you that you have tissue hanging out your ass, out of your pants, and stick it to the bottom of your shoe. And then you have friends who are like, ha ha ha, she won't outshine me now because she has, I'm not going to tell her that she has tissue at the bottom of her shoe and hanging out her ass. And so when we go around people, they'll make fun of her. You got motherfuckers like that. Like, it's weird. People think like that, though. They're like, ha ha ha. If she's doing bad in life, that means I can like elevate. And I mean, if you don't like the person, that's different. If the person knows you don't like them and you hear about some shit and you're just like, oh, sucks to be you, kind of thing, that's different. But if you're just like a malicious person, you don't want to even see your friends doing well. You don't want to see like that's bad. And we're not going to normalize that bullshit. We're not going to normalize that bullshit. That's why I said, when you laugh at other people's demise or issues, it doesn't mean it negates yours. However, it does make you look like a miserable cunt who's not getting fucked there. Like, new definition is shut the fuck up. Seriously. And I don't condone like being free with yourself down there and having everybody poke and prod you, I mean, be celibate till you find someone who's actually worthy and deserving of that. But I'm just saying, like, are you Are you not getting pleased in an area, whether you're not getting pleased there, or you not getting pleased in another area of your life? Because like I said, if I don't meet someone and I'm celibate and whatnot, I'm going to find an area of my life where I can feel pleased in another way. Because at the end of the day, you feel pleasure in your root chakra, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus. So I'm going to find something creative to do. Like, find something creative to fucking do rather than, being up someone's ass because someone's not in your ass. You know what I mean? Like, drops mic, that's a bar. And some of you don't drop the soap. Anyway, for real, like, some of y'all, we're not going to go into that. Some of y'all just don't drop the soap, okay? Because some people who are gossiping, you have stuff on them to where it's like, okay, motherfucker, once you get caught, don't drop the soap. This is for, people who run their mouths and they know they really shouldn't. Because if you wanted to, you would. You could expose some shit. But you're just like, nah, I'm gonna chill with that. That's another thing. People just be spreading people's secrets and shit. And it's just like, now, what was the point of doing that? What was the point of doing that? That's why I don't like people who smear and slander. It's like, go to the source. Go to the source. Some people will just do that because they feel like you aren't deserving of something. Even if I don't feel like someone is deserving of something, that's none of your business to be, smearing and slandering them unless they did something to you. You have evidence that they did. But I still don't think it should be smeared and slandered everywhere. You should go to the source. You can expose them, but I don't know, people are just weird. And even if someone's going around and like smearing and slandering people, I mean, there were times I had to publicly, post people and tag people, but that's why people know that I'm real life with it. If I have an issue, like you did some crazy dumb shit, and even the people who I did that to respect me because they're like, okay, she's really about that life. I have had to, and I have no ill will against them, but I've had to tag people and literally for like a whole year just drag them across the internet because of what they did. I would tag and drag, literally. I don't do that anymore. I have different ways of doing that. Whether it's, if I have to sue you or if I have to do other things, I don't let people get away with stuff. Like I said, I don't care if it was years ago, if you did some grimy shit, you smeared and slandered me, you talked people out of working with me, you wanted me to be at the bottom of your shoe so you could elevate type shit. Oh no, I'm gonna get you. But it's gonna be legal. Like, I'm gonna get your favorite things taken away. For real. I don't play that. I'm not the one to play with. Not when it comes to that. I have won every single court case that I've ever had because I've never been in the wrong. Like, people have come after me and like try to attack me on some bullshit, and I'm like, I will take your ass to court. You will have nothing. I will make sure you have nothing. If you have a business, it will be leaned. For real. People got to understand, some people are not under federal. And some people do know people in high places. Even if you think you know people in high places, people know people in higher places than that. So you got to know who you playing with. Like I said, and not to really go off on a huge tangent, but you see a lot of millionaires and billionaires. You wouldn't think they were millionaires and billionaires. I'm not a millionaire or billionaire. I'm not going front. But you wouldn't think they were. So sometimes you may treat certain people because they don't look the part a certain way. So same thing when it came to me, although I didn't have, I call the matrix or like Federal Reserve notes, at the time, when I lost everything. So people thought that they could get away with stuff. When I was sick, people thought they could get away with stuff, and so it's like, but there's gonna come a time where I will reveal my superpowers, motherfucker. When my kidney starts to work again, when I get rid of this leukemia, when I get rid of this brain injury, when I get rid of all that shit that's causing me to not be able to fight a war right now and fight my own battles right now because I don't feel good. Oh, I'm coming back full force, you know? So some people you gotta be, some things, it's not good. Some people could be dangerous. You don't know that. You don't know that. Child, if you take the bus from Connecticut to go to New York, to the New York Port Authority, and the people that come through there, like I said, I met someone before he was coming through Port Authority. He said, man, I just got out of prison. Dude had on a prison outfit, okay? He said, I just got out of prison. I just broke this dude's nose, just nonchalant. Who did he come talking to? Came talking right to me, y'all. Thought I was 1 in a million because he recognized that I was a healer, but he also recognized I was no one to play with. This man got out of did prison easy. When I tell you this man did prison easy, then I saw another dude. Dude didn't look like he even went to prison because it's not a look. It's an aura. It's an energetic field. And so it's just like some people aren't going to move like you move. So if you think you get away with stuff, and some people get off on thinking they get away with stuff, you don't ever get away with stuff. And even if God never reveals that to that person that you backstabbed and betrayed them, karma doesn't miss. And karma, from what I heard, from what I researched, isn't necessarily a punishment. It's for you to learn. But how you choose to learn is based off of how you did people. Whether, even if it was you betrayed yourself, you know? And so it just pays to not look on the surface, the outward appearance, and being like, oh, I'm gonna do this to this person. It's like you could do whatever you want. But some people aren't gonna play like you. And that person too, that person might not do anything to you, but someone who they've told that you did something to them may move in silence. May not even tell that person that they want to come after you. You don't know how people move. It just pays to be a genuine person, and it pays, like I said, to shut your mouth. Stop talking about people that you don't know. I'm the type of person, if I have an issue with someone or I really want to know something, I will ask that person, I just mind my fucking business. I'll mind my business. This is why it's important to know your astrological birth chart and know thyself. Get to know yourself on a deeper level, because you won't have time to think about nobody but yourself. Elevating. Like, some people would have businesses if they minded their fucking business. Like, your business would be growing if you grew your own fucking business. But people don't get that concept. I always thought that was, oh my God, I've been like this since elementary school. I remember having friends. And like I said, my mom grew up in Hartford, but she moved me to Newington, you know. And so it was a little bit different. It was a little bit different there. And you know, it was a different mentality. Even in Hartford too, it's really everywhere, you know, that mentality. And it has nothing to do with race, because I can't stand when people do that. Oh, you know, no, it's not a race thing. It's a people thing. It's a people thing. You know, what I'm talking about is in terms of, like, you know, with my family, it was very out in the open. Where is this coming from? I'm still like, where's that? Something is like, it's like hair on my shirt. Okay, there we go. It's like, what the fuck? I can't concentrate. People would tell you to your face, you know. But when I went to school, you were friends with people, and then people would like talk about that person. I was like, yeah, we're not gonna be her friends anymore because she's fake. Later on, they'd be playing at recess. Hey, how are you? I was like, so I felt unsafe as a child. I was like, you know, as a little child, I'm like, these little bitches are so fake. Like, what? You know, they wouldn't even address anything. It was just like, no, we're friends again. Obviously, we were little. But for some people that carried over to high school, I found my tribe in high school. I was not like that. And even in adult years, if you're a gossiper, I will not tell you anything. If I know that you tell people's secrets, I'll know how to deal with you. I'll know how to deal with you. You won't know anything. I just don't condone that. But I've seen that too. I've seen it in business. When I used to work with doTERRA, and we would have meetings, and I was like, I thought she didn't care for so-and-so, or we would hear certain things and I was like, oh, they're talking. That's weird. And nothing was addressed. I'm just like, oh my God, that's weird. That shit is weird. It's just fucking weird. That's weird to me. I can't do that. Like, if I don't like you, I understand talking it out and moving forward and being friends that way, but y'all don't address anything, and it's just like, oh, hey, how are you? Oh my God, I love your dress. Oh my God, I love your dress. Or, yeah, I don't want nothing to do with her. I don't want nothing to do with her. And then it's like, oh, hey, how you doing? It's like, oh, that's strange. It's just strange. That's strange. I ride hard for people that I love. If no one can talk about you in front of me, I'm going to shut it down. And the way you're going to shut it down is by asking the person, did you go and talk to the person? Okay, then I don't want to hear it. Because we're going to have a conversation with everyone right now. I'm going to put everyone in a room and we're going to discuss it. And if one of y'all get heated and someone wants to throw hands, then you need to be ready to do that. Because that's just like, it's just so, like, what is that? It's obviously fear, like I said, and it's not benefiting the person. Usually, like, normally, let's just say we're back in school, right? You have the teacher who calls the parent, and they're like, I'm concerned about your child. The teacher called the parent because the teacher was concerned. If you're gossiping and you're saying, oh, why would she say that? Why would she? What is that benefiting? Is it benefiting that person? Do you want to help the person? No, you just want to gossip. That shit's weird. It's a waste of time. And when you do that, you're manifesting bad things to happen into your life, because a lot of gossip, and I wrote what gossip is. I have gossiphrenia on my Twitter, which is Avishai, by the way. It's a whole definition, and it's my definition I came up with. Gossiphrenia, a diagnosis where someone gossips about things that never happened. They fabricate things and show false, invalid evidence to support their own existent claims. A person who listens to gossip about things that never happened. A conversation amongst people who have hallucinations of things that never occurred. How to avoid getting plagued with this new diagnosis. I put all rights reserved. And when it says all rights reserved, I have all rights reserved to me. Some people have to do copyrights and trademarks. And that's all well and good for people, but I have all rights reserved to me, meaning everything that I say is all rights reserved to me. Like, it's actually lawful and legal. Okay. Don't be weak-minded. Ask the person who's being discussed, or be a sheeple, like be a follower like everybody else. No, I just want to gossip. I just want to talk about you. It's so fun. Stupid. Be strong and shut down gossip. Like, shut it down. Or if you're not one of we're going to talk about that later on in the show. If you're not one of those people who likes to fight or be confrontational or like be dramatic and make it a whole big soap opera or novella or some shit, then another way you can do that is by magnifying the person who's being talked about, their strengths. Like, let's say someone is like, oh, Susie looked really bad. Did you see how bad she looked? You could say something like, I think she's really beautiful. And, I'm just going to pray for her. I loved her outfit yesterday. And that's it. Say what you love about the person. That person tries to say something else. You can be like, you know what? Maybe I'll call Susie, see how she's doing. And then walk away. Then walk away and maybe don't have anything to do with that person, because that person's not to be trusted. Because why are you talking about someone looking terrible? Now, like I said, granted, if you don't like the person and you told the person that they look terrible and you're telling someone that they look terrible, then that's a bit different. But if you're like concerned about that person and you're telling other people they look terrible, blah 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 blah. Or a lot of times, I'm a very blunt person, and some people can't take that. I have a lot of I'm a Cancer sun, we're naturally blunt. And I have a lot of Scorpio placements that's like drill, and then you got Capricorn that's like we're gonna drill the knife in, and I have a bunch of Leo in my big 6 that's like we're gonna drill it and we're gonna add some fire to it as we drill it. And so some people can't handle that. They're just like, oh my gosh, she's so intense. Oh my god, it's too intense. Oh my god, it's too intense. And so some people may be taken aback. Oh my god, I used to work with a dude when I used to work at a veterinary hospital. He was like the cool guy that had everyone at his house for parties. At the time I went to church, so I was like, my wild side was on pause. I was like, I want to go. But anyway, he was like, I was taken aback. So sometimes people get taken aback by certain things that I may say or do, and I'm just like, what? What did I say? What did I say? So some people may have something to say about it. Do I give a fuck? No, I don't. Like, people are gonna talk anyway. All people do is talk. Like I said, the tongue is an unruly member. Some people don't know how to contain themselves. Same like with me online. I remember my platelets were like low. So I looked like, I was really, I had skin problems. I had a bunch of different shit. So in photos, especially with the old horrible camera, like I said, that's on my rumors episode. People started rumors like, oh, what is she doing? Is she doing like, she trying to change her skin? Like, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. Like, no, I'm sick right now. Dodo, doofus. I'm sick right now. You know, when your liver is damaged, your kidneys don't function, and you've been burned 4 times, how the fuck do you expect someone to look? Yeah, they're gonna look like a bunch of skin colors. Who gives a fuck? Call me a color palette, bitch. Like, what the fuck? Choose one. Like that song says, I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky. Like, choose whatever one and keep it fucking moving. I don't care. So people just have things to say. They just talk all the time. And it's schizophrenia. Like I said, it's gossiphrenia. Why are you saying things that aren't there? Why are you making stuff up? So going back to what I was saying, when people gossip, you end up reaping karma because you're manifesting with your mouth. There's power in your tongue. So you're speaking, you're manifesting things that aren't true to come into your reality. So we're over here, the ones who are being gossiped about, we're like, oh, thank you for manifesting horrible stuff into your own life. That's what you get. Like Scarface, look at you. Like, you look stupid, don't you? That's why it pays to get to the bottom of things and know the truth before you start opening your mouth and things like that. You know, and the people who listen to gossip about you or rumors about you and make a judgment call and don't have anything to do with you because of it, they're not your people. Those are not your people, because someone who is meant to be in your life won't care regardless. They'll come to the source and find out themselves. Like, that's just like, it's just weird to me. It's just weird. It's weird and it's weak. It's weak and it's whack. So, going back to what I was saying about organs, how do you know when your organs are shutting down? From experience, I know when your kidneys are shutting down. When your kidneys are shutting down, your face will swell up. You won't be able to go to the bathroom like you normally would. There's definitely a change in that. So you may not, because if your kidneys aren't filtering properly, you may not go to the bathroom anymore, or you may go on yourself. It all depends on which organs are not working properly. In the case of kidneys, it reminded me of, who was it? Maury, in the case of, I don't know if someone's not the father of a baby or something. I don't know, because y'all know I'm a psychic medium too, so I be picking up random shit, so y'all may want to get that checked on. I don't know, that came through, like, I don't know if someone claiming to be the father and they're not. I don't know. Take that up with God. I don't care. It ain't got shit to do with me. But Spirit just said that, so whatever. So that's one way. Another way is you lose your appetite. You don't want to eat anymore. You're very fatigued. You just feel kind of lost because you feel kind of alive, but then you don't. If your liver is malfunctioning and shutting down, your skin will look jaundice. With kidneys, your skin will start to look gray, so you'll get that gray look on your face. What else? You could be sweating. You'll get a bigger stomach too as well. Your stomach could be inflamed. That can vary, okay? That can vary. You can't really do anything on your own. You can't walk on your own. You're less likely to get out of the bed. And so when you feel like that, that's a sign that your organs are shutting down. When your organs are shutting down, you're slowly dying. With me, I remember it took me, and I think I said this in last week's episode or the episode before, it was last week's. It took me like 15 minutes to digest 8 ounces of water. And I actually have that video. If you go to my highlights on Instagram, where it says cancer, either says cancer or AML. I believe it says cancer. You can go and see, because I was live journaling it, to just keep track of everything that I was dealing with. And I remember I did lose my appetite. It feels like, it's a weird feeling. You feel like heaviness on your chest. I had like a lump on my chest. You just feel like everything is blocked off, and you can't consume anything. You don't feel like drinking. You don't feel like eating. You don't feel like going to the bathroom. You don't feel like doing anything. It's really like a melancholy, bittersweet, frightening feeling all at once. It's weird. You're just like, well, I can't do anything, so I guess I'll accept this, but I don't want to, but I do want to eat, but I'm not hungry, but I think I should. You know, your brain is just going a mile a minute. You're just like, I don't what is going on, you know? So those are the signs that is shutting down. You just don't feel like doing anything. So you want to combine those signs from last week's episode, The Magical Cure for Cancer, which was taken down because you can't say that according to the WHO. I have that in my email. I'm like, I'll say whatever the fuck I want. So shout out to everyone else keeping my episodes up. I remember Plandemic versus Pandemic was taken off of Spotify. So it's like First Amendment, but not, you know? So these people are corrupt. They are corrupt. They like to, like the Bible, they like to overrule things. Like the Bible said, neither add nor take away. They like to add and take away all the time. You know, we know it says freedom of speech, but there's also policies in place. Like, bullshit, fuck your policies. So they've been trying to censor me for years, even my other pages. A lot of people on Twitter, you see a lot of like spiritual people. I was the guru and pioneer for a lot of spiritual people nowadays. All my pages that Instagram blocked, I thought they were hacked. I think some of my pages were hacked, but they would shadow ban me. And I don't know who had anything to do with that, but they would shadow ban me. I went through four Instagram pages, 4 or 5 Instagram pages, and it had a lot of spiritual stuff on there. And so I remember posting something on Twitter like, "You're welcome, everybody," because everyone was like copying or taking from the originator, the original source who came up with this information. Because when I tell you it didn't come from me, it was all channeled from Creator, Spirit, and Angels. And so a lot of times you see these new spiritual kids on the block, even though they're adults, but that's what I'm calling them, new spiritual kids on the block. And it's like, this was during the time that I was sick. I really couldn't do any of that. Couldn't keep up with my business. I couldn't keep up with my pages. There was a lot I couldn't do. And that was a 2000, really, I was never healthy, but it really went downhill 2016 to 2021 and beyond. So it was I mean, beyond like past. So 2013, then to 2021, 2016, it got really bad and just went downhill. And so, I mean, what can you do? You know, you can't go after everybody or fight every single battle, you know, but I started a lot of spiritual wisdom, imparted a lot of spiritual wisdom, and I'll keep doing it. So I'll keep doing it. It's fine. It's totally fine. So just appreciate me, everybody, as they should. You know, and sometimes you'll see that. You'll see people getting praised for things that you've done, and it doesn't make me feel any kind of way. You know, people just, they go after other people's ideas sometimes. Some of those people were innocent. They probably didn't even know it came from me, but I started a lot of things. I had to get, like I said, get rid of my pages, but I would like put it in my captions and everything. I do have a poetry book though. And I forgot about those. So like I said, I've always been writing and doing what I could and writing books and everything. So there's certain things you just forget. But anyway, that's how you know that your organs are shutting down. Those are the ways you know. And don't beat yourself up if you couldn't do certain things because you had to focus on your health. You know, I had to work and focus on my health, but I mean, everyone's not built like that, and I don't recommend you pushing yourself past that limit. Like I said, my organs were shutting down. I was a burn victim at the time. I was paralyzed, and it was a lot of things. So, but I had to do what I had to do. You know, that's how life is when you're around a lot of ignorant people. You know, people look at me and they think I had handouts. I didn't have a fucking handout. I had people, you know, people who genuinely cared about me, and one person, you know, a couple people who made sure that I was eating because I couldn't work, and, you know, getting my necessities as anyone would. You know, what was I supposed to do then? I used to hustle day and night. I remember my mom would have to like meet me somewhere. This was out at Hartford at night in the winter, at night, by myself. Had to meet me because my legs would lock up, and I would do the same thing all over again. My legs would lock up again. I wound up in the hospital. This was hustling day and night. I had to turn a penny into almost $200 so I could eat. People knew that this was happening. They did not help me. They did not care. I've been working since I started at 7, took a long break. I started at 7 years old, my own string business. I've always worked. Took a break, started again when I was 15, and I've been working ever since. I went to college. I did 9 to 10 classes. I had a side business. I had a business on Amazon where I would sell my books online. That's how I would flip it into money. I think, I don't know him that well, but, so the man's name was Gary Vaynerchuk, and I did not know him when I was in college. I was in college. It was 2009 2007, then it was 2009. It was for a few years that I would sell my books on Amazon, get paid for it, you know, like I said, while I was working a part-time job, and also had my side business with essential oils that were name brand. You know, people were able to buy like Ralph Lauren's Juicy Couture. It was completely legal. Businesses gave permission. The perfume companies also gave permission, so it was completely legal, and people loved them. I would put on events and everything. And at the time, I wasn't like too heavy into astrology, always intuitive, but not heavily into astrology because I was really heavily into the church. But, you know, now that I know astrology, I'm like, girl, you had a Capricorn stellium, so you were always working. And this episode was supposed to premiere on Tuesday, but everything happens for a reason. My computer had viruses on it. I was like, people really don't want me to speak. I've been hacked and tracked several times. So I don't know. Sometimes you click links too that get viruses, but I took it as, you know, lower vibrational ethers didn't want me to get any of the information out there. People don't like when you speak and you're powerful and you stand firm in what you believe in and you don't fit in and you're created to creator, spirit, and angels. So I had to take the computer back and forth to Apple. I had to take it back and forth. They were like, girl, you need a vacation. Because people who don't, you know, they know me in real life. They know how hard I work. She's like, you need a vacation. I'm like, I can't stop working. You know, I do love, you know, what I do. But it's kind of people to think that, you know, you need to take vacation. You need to take time out for yourself. And so, yeah. And actually, it was a whole bunch of stuff going on. What I learned throughout this process is to just enjoy the moments. Some things are going to be out of your control. You can't control everything. You just got to flow. And so I did. One of the times I went to Apple, because I usually, you know, have Uber take me. As most of you know, I'm not driving myself, especially not after a traumatic brain injury. So I'm just chilling off of that. So one of the times I walked to Apple and I forgot where the mall was. I'm like, damn, because I haven't walked there since my brain injury. So I don't know where it is. I forgot. And so I saw this man. There are angels unaware. And I appreciate this man. He had me choked up. Was the sweetest sweetheart. Just a sweetheart. When I tell you this man was sweet, I was praying for him as we were walking. Because this man is homeless. He doesn't have his own place. And I just pray that he finds his own place because he deserves to have his own place. He was a complete gentleman to me. So I'm looking for the mall and try not to cry. But I will cry if I want to and if I feel like it and if I have to. So he sees me and he walks me. He said, I'll walk with you there. And at this time I had been through it today because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with my computer. I had to kind of be a tech person. Thankfully, I recorded it on video, and so I became a techie person. I'm a Virgo rising with Gemini placement, so we literally just are naturally techie people. I did do coding in school as well. I just love technology and computers. I mean, I love the microphone too. I'm a podcaster. I mean, hello. And so it was just a runaround. And so I was tired at this point. It was like 9:30 at night. It was like going on 10. Then it was 10. I was like, damn, the lady, they let me in the mall after hours. They were so sweet. So I was able to get my computer and then come back to record the rest of the podcast. I had to convert the file. So I still have the original video, but not the original podcast video. But since I recorded it, it's the same video. If that makes fucking sense. So the man walked me all the way to the mall. This man walked me all the way to the mall with the scooter. He had a scooter and he had all of these bags on him. He was carrying, it was very heavy on his back. Walked me a far distance and made sure that I got there. Made sure that I made it. And then on top of that, I said this has to be angels unawares. Even if it wasn't like a real, God used him at that point in time. And he listened and took heed to that. Took heed to the call. His name was Lance. He's really sweet man. And so we get there. The door is, it's dark inside and it's like locked. He said, you know what? Out of nowhere. How did he know this? He said, you know what? If you walk around, you go around, you'll be inside the mall. And I said, okay. I just completely listened. I get there and there's security sitting there. And so I was able to talk to someone to let me in. Whereas if I would have stood there and if he would have just left me there, I wouldn't have been able to grab my computer from them. So I'm so appreciative of you. Then, listen to this. I get in the car because I'm going back home. I'm away from the mall at this point. You know who I see? I see him walking and he looks in the car as if he expected me. It was so freaking weird. I would say it was weird, but being a medium, nothing really surprises me. Like I said, I remember going to the nail tech. And her station moved. And I said, oh, someone's visiting me. And she didn't get weirded out. She was like, this thing is moving by itself. I was like, yeah, by the way, I'm a medium. So she said, really? She said, people, you would love Japan. She said they would love you in Japan. And they do, because they'll come on my TikTok from time to time. I'll get people from Dubai, people from Japan, people from Tokyo. That's Japan. People from Africa, people from Jamaica. Jamaica really loves me. Australia, everywhere. And so it's just good to come across good, kind people. So I really hope that man finds a place, if he was a real person. If he was a real person. But that just touched my heart. It really, really did. That he was really sweet. He was a really, really sweet man. I'll never forget that either. Talk to the homeless. You're not better than anybody. I've been there. I've been there before. It's a hustle and bustle. As you heard my story, I had to hustle to make turn pennies into $200. Till I landed myself in the hospital. So it doesn't pay to look down on people, because you know what, you'll wind up in the same situation, and some of you won't be able to make it. Some people take their lives out there, Some people aren't creative enough to hustle and bustle. And so, speaking of looking down on people, recently I had gone to the beach. I have the video if you guys want me to post it on my Instagram. But I was taking pictures of myself, and I posted the photo that I ended up taking at the beach, posted it on my Instagram. So I took a photo of myself. And these girls are on the boat, and one girl looks over, another girl like pointing. And I said, what did you say? I'm really live in person. That's why I'm like, y'all may get a little bit online. In person, it's worse. Like, I bite if I have to in person. So, and I said it really loud, like everyone could hear me. And so I said it again. I said, what did you say? I was going ballistic. And so they started rowing the boat. And she didn't even look like she knew how to row the boat. But the bitch rowed her and her friend's ass away so quickly. And you could see in the video. I have the video. Always keep receipts. Always keep receipts. Always keep receipts on everything. When I did that, that reminded me of SNL when they were doing like the cheerleaders. They're doing this. Yeah, I did. I was loud like across the water. I was like, listen, you could run up and you could row up. And I'm a very good swimmer. I've swam in all kinds of water, murky black water I've swam, and I was like, these bitches got, what were they to say? I'm jumping in this water and I'm swimming over to that boat quickly. I swim like a damn fish. For real. Cancer son. I swim like a damn. I've always swam in the water since I was little. So it's just very familiar to me. What did we do? Was it paddle boating at Mystic Seaport? And I fell in the water. It was murky black water. Black. Like this mic. It had a little bit of like green swamp stuff in there. A mess. I swam in it. There was no bottom. It was just murky. That's some Scorpio placements. I will swim in the depths to come after you. For real. So I did. I was really loud. Really, really loud. There was boats and everything. I was like, what did you say? They got scared and swam away. Like, I don't play. Don't play with me. And they turn the other way. Some people are mad because they don't have any curves, man. I'm small with curves. And if people don't like curves, fuck you. Don't nobody give a shit. Don't nobody give a shit. So how do you confront people without, my method of yelling, being aggressive? If you're not like that, if you're not like, nuck if you motherfucking buck, like, what did you say? You get the eye twitch. What did you say? Then there's other ways. I mean, you can, say, hey, I'd love to have a conversation. There's just something I want to talk to you about. Make sure you don't do that like over the phone and have people panicking and getting anxiety and shit. Hey, I want to talk to you about something later. Like, let them know what it's about, or say, hey, are you available for a quick phone call? There's something that I have wanted to discuss with you. You can schedule a time to discuss something with them. And I find that when you're having a conversation, the best thing to do is to not think that you're wrong for expressing yourself. If you feel like someone slighted you, present that to them. If you're a non-confrontational kind of person, you're fearful that someone's going to yell at you or someone's going to hit you or hurt you or harm you in any way, shape, or form, then you can certainly write them something. You can mail them something. You can write them something. Some people just don't say anything at all. You can talk with a smile on your face, something that makes you feel comfortable. Or you can say something like, listen, I don't want you to be mad at me, but sometimes people, they'll get more mad if you present it like that. But just say something like, I really love our friendship, but there's just something that you do that it just really turns me the wrong way. And here's what you do. Or you could just do what I say. What did you say? Or you could do that. But it's the way in which you want to get rid of your anxiety is saying that you're right. You have a right to present whatever, your side of the story. I'll never forget, there was a person that I was friends with, and they said, say how you feel even if your voice shakes. No matter what how that person reacts, just know that you were right in expressing yourself. And if they react and you're not, like I said, you're not a fighter, you're not a confrontational person, then just walk away. Just be like, okay. Because how someone treats you when you're presenting them information is how they felt about you the whole time. Okay? And so that's how you can confront someone without the anxiety and being confrontational. Like I said, I find that people look at not agreeing with someone is being confrontational. And it's like, listen, I remember when I used to observe, preschool students, and we used to tell them, listen, if a child is playing with puzzles and you want to go on the swings, that's okay. And I think as adults, sometimes people need to go to preschool. Hopefully it's homeschool preschool. Oh my God, I miss them. I miss them at preschool. There was a teacher, I remember I was a substitute at it's a wonderful preschool, and I'm picky when it comes to children. At the little things, I'm like, why are you grabbing his arm like that? Why are you grabbing her arm like that? Why are you standing up while you're talking to a child? You need to be on your knees talking to them because their little necks get hurt. Looking up at you like, how stupid of you, dumbass. Why are you a little bit loud? Like, I'm very picky. I'll never forget, I went to Whole Foods with my nephew and I almost lost it. When I tell you my eyes started twitching, I started like almost having a blackout because I thought this lady's jacket, not even the full jacket, just a corner of her jacket hit him, and I just thought she went by. He's a very smart 2-year-old. He was eating his grapes in the Whole Foods because I let him have his grapes in Whole Foods. And I'm looking down at him and I'm like, did she hit you with her jacket? He said, no. I was like, all right, because I'm about to black the fuck out. I was like, I'm about to put you in this carriage and tape you somewhere so you don't move. And I'm gonna handle this bitch. That's how I am. I'm just very protective. So this preschool wanted to hire me as a full-time teacher there, and at the time I didn't take the job at the time. I don't remember why. I don't know if I was going through probably having to move, getting evicted, because that's when I became homeless that year and was fighting the system. Literally, because I was being discriminated against. Ooh, that was a time with no help. It was just me and my mom. We were just outcasted. And now everybody's like jumping on the bandwagon of that. I'm like, oh, where was everybody back then? Because everybody's looking at me like I was crazy. Like that guy on that Christmas meme, he was a homeless guy and he was talking about all these conspiracy theories and people were actually listening to him. I was like, yeah, that guy was me years ago. Everybody thought I was crazy. Now everybody's saying the same thing that I've been fucking saying for years. Oh, it's because of people out left and right. But anyway, I was. So that was a time that I had to get my health together and lost everything. So I was just not in a good frame of mind. I didn't really want to be in the school system like that. I wanted to work for myself. There's a lot of things going on at once, child. And I had brain fog. It was just a mess. My organs were shutting down unknowingly at this time. Ugh. And so, but I was really good with the children. And they just adored me, and the teachers there adored me too. I was mad at the food though. I was like, why are they eating this meat with this Kraft cheese? Like, the fuck? Why? Why are they doing that? It was just, oh. I was like, why can't they have like gourmet, organic, plant-based foods? Like, But anyway. So just recognizing that everyone is different. You're going to differ in opinion. You're going to differ in the way you communicate. This is why I offer astrotherapy. Astrology is crucial, knowing how you communicate. Please look at your damn Mercuries, okay? Are your Mercuries squaring each other? Do you have Mercury in Virgo squaring, I don't know, another sign? Then you're not going to communicate well. So maybe you shouldn't talk to them. You know what I mean? So that creates a compatible friendship or relationship as well as your Mercury. Now, if it's the opposite, that might work, because it's the opposite. Or if it's conjunct, you communicate the same way. Or if it's trine, but if it's a square, damn. You could have said Olive Garden and someone could have thought you said you pissed. Like, if y'all are squaring your Mercury. So, I don't know about that. You'd have to elevate past beyond your astrology. Your astrology is the blueprint, but it's not set in stone. Okay, it's not set in stone. So a way you're going to communicate, like I said, is just knowing that you have the right to speak up, you have the right to say something. There's nothing to be nervous about. That's when intuition comes into, seeing how the outcome is, maybe having a little premonition before things happen, like how it's going to turn out. But for you're not responsible for, I had to yawn and breathe recording this late. It was a long ass day. I tried to get this podcast out for y'all. And for me, because I like listening to it too. Like my professor said, you like D, you still have dog. Professor Cappy, he was like a father figure to me. I love that man. Yeah, I do. Actually, it's therapeutic for me. It's therapeutic for a lot of people. I've heard that, and I appreciate all of you for saying that. But yeah. So always remember that. And there's a way to say things, being a user experience copywriter helps, although I'm very blunt. So I'm like a user experience copywriter when I'm writing certain articles, but I'm also very blunt. I can't take the blunt out of me. I can't, that's how I am. And I feel like some people are not like that. They're just very, bubbly. I'm bubbly blunt, I'm gonna tell it like it is. I just can't be jolly Christmas, all the time. That's never been my personality. And I've tried to be like, maybe we'll kind of be this way, and I just revert right back. So it's like I evolve, but I evolve with myself, if that makes sense. Like I evolve, but I evolve with myself. I don't evolve into what society thinks I should be, which is like Stepford wife, cookie cutter, If I'm gonna be a housewife or a stay-at-home wife, I'm not gonna be a Stepford one. Like I'll be submissive, but I'm still gonna be the blunt person that I am. I'm not gonna be disrespectful, but I'm still gonna talk like I'm talking right now. What do you want me to do? I'm not gonna be like, oh, all right, I'm not saying I would be mean to someone, but that's just not my personality. I like heavy metal. I like rap. I like hip hop. I like, I have a strong masculine side. I have a feminine side, but I am not. If you whatever you want to go and get that. I'm not gonna be that. And I'm not going to be molded into something. And that's what I loved about going to college, is that people like Mary Pat Bigley, who I still love her. I haven't seen her in years. She used to call me basically a quiet storm. So did my aunt, a quiet storm. They accepted that I have both sides. I'm quiet and I'm a damn storm. Like, watch out, okay? And they just love those sides of me. It's a good blend. That's just who I am. That's who I've been. I'm both. Like, I'm balanced. Some people want one or the other, and I'm not a one or the other kind of person. I'm balanced. Like, okay. Take it or leave it, honestly. Whatever. Whatever. Everyone's not the same, and that's what people need to realize, is that everybody is not the same. Everybody is not the same. And so that's why I tell clients, it's important to set boundaries with people at the beginning. Before you start a friendship, let people know I'm blunt. I don't tolerate bullshit. I don't like drama. I don't like gossip. And if they do that, acting like you're a little pussy and you're going to let them continue to do that, you cut them off and show them that you are just being kind. You're not a dumb bitch. There's that storm side, you see? So you show that, oh, you're quiet. It's like, yeah, uh-huh. And then they cross you, it's like, motherfucker. Do I amuse you? It all depends. It all depends on which side, people want to see. It's just, we learned respect at an early age, how I grew up. So you just respect people. That's it. No matter what they are. Like I said, that man was homeless. I didn't say, like people were calling me, and my ass was paralyzed in the bed with leukemia. I was, oh, you're a bum. Why don't they get up? Why don't you put yourself out there? I'm like, motherfucker. This is literally what I heard. I wish I was making this shit up, but other people heard it too. Literally. Some people did take up for me as well, because people were just saying bullshit. It was just, I was like, damn, tell me how you really feel. And this was people I used to go hard for, that wouldn't take up for themselves, by the way. And we're talking shit to me. I'm like, really? Wow. At my most vulnerable state, when I couldn't defend myself. So it's not that I'm holding on to that. I just don't forget. I'm not going to forget that. Like there's no going back from that. I just can't do it. And the reason being is that people don't evolve, they don't change, because people don't think they need to change and they need to evolve. So you can let someone back in, they're going to repeat the same mistakes because they don't know they're making them, but you do. You're the self-aware one. So who's going to be drained? You are, if you let that person back in. And so you need to set your boundaries at the very beginning. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. Don't do what and then when you develop a friendship or relationship, you can talk to each other and say, listen, can you bend here a little bit? Can you compromise here a little bit? It's called speaking. It's called talking. Express yourself. It's okay. It's okay to express yourself. Use your throat chakra. That's all there is to it. And if you want more coaching on how to speak to people based off of your individual experience, because I remember I did this for a client. I wrote it out exactly what she should say based off of intuition. And that's why it's good to work with a psychic medium, because we could see the situation and how it's going to play out. And it worked for her very, very well. And I was super happy, because that's nerve-wracking for a lot of people. They're just like, oh, I'm going to freeze up. I don't know what to say. I don't know what the response is gonna be. It's gonna be so bad. It doesn't have to be like that, so here I am. I can help you with that. So feel free to reach out to me via email. Sign up for that's available only in my coaching programs. Okay, so I have scripts and everything for people who need to approach people and are afraid. Sometimes when you're developing that sense of self and that confidence, it helps when you have someone who's like a backbone for you. It's like learning how to swim. Here we go with the swimming again. You have the little floaties, or you have someone who's guiding you first when you swim, and then they're like, oh, today I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna sit back here. So it guides you through that process. Okay, so I know this episode helped you tremendously. Have an unfiltered day, and I'll see you next week. Mwah.